interesting thing about your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Film. Community, heart, Crazy Dee.
This is Like It Is Radio, Black Intelligent Talk Radio.
Welcome back to Nothing But the Facts. You know how we do. We're keeping you abreast of what's going on, the community, the larger black diaspora. One of the trio right here, Student Verley, F to the Jizzle, Franklyn G, Franklyn Verley. You can check us out at YouTube. You already found us, so you might as well watch us, keep us going. We'll keep you going. Sitting here with my man from Lordland Films, Crazy Dee, wants to put it all in film, put it all down so it becomes historically, factually, contextually, visually available for the masses. And you know CeeMo right here puts the sound down so you can hear what we're saying. It won't be like a Japanese kung fu movie. We say, yo, and it doesn't happen that way. We try to connect you with a lot of different things and bring you up to date, so definitely support us. If you want to get on here, we can help. We can make that happen. All you got to do is reach out to my man right here, Crazy Dee, Lordland Films. If you happen to do it, he'll put it on video for you and get it back to you fresh, crisp, and fast.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I don't know if that's always good, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Because of video production.
Because, you know, it most of the time, if it's not in motion picture form, moving pictures, it really didn't happen. So you always have to remember that. And remember, a beautiful black image is everything. What you got to say, CeeMo? Let's talk about your Mo Times Media.
The Mo Media is going great, man. Indie artists coming through, shoot them interviews.
What are indie artists? People may not be familiar with that.
Independent artist is basically an artist that is no label, really no management. The artists that I've recently been with, no management or independent manager as well, and they just come through and tell us what they do, express their art. We got fun things like trivia questions for them and little hot topic news for them, and then we just collab, man. It's all about collabing. No one's got us like us is the motto. So.
And then of course we've got Franklyn G here. He's being modest. But of course, he has his Like It Is radio program where he stumps. Oh, excuse me. Let you speak on that.
No, not stomping. See, that's the perception of when you come against injustice and you expose it. And it's easy to push somebody out. If you're real leaders and real coaches and real leadership, it's bringing people into the fold. I try to do that by disseminating information based on the information provided to me. If you provide us access, we can dialogue. If you don't provide us access, and then you say this or that, therein lies the institutional problem. And how is it that black people nowadays would castigate any other African American when they go talk to Walter Cronkite? They forgot about Walter Cronkite. They forgot about Dan Rather. Y'all see Rachel Maddow? You see these other individuals? But here in Las Vegas, like many other cities, we have a burgeoning growth of middle-class blacks. And I just find it strange that people would say those kind of things when you're just trying to add critical analysis to the promises and innuendos they make in terms of black elected officials or any leadership position. If you're leadership, you're supposed to bring people into the fold. I've read that from Phil Jackson. I've read that from some other great esteemed leaders, even Plato, even Don Juan, even Don Corleone. Figure it out. You got to dialogue with people so you can tell them what you're about, and then you have to do what you say. And in the critical analysis of 2018, as a black independent news gathering organization that KCP is, if you don't respect us by telling your stories, if you don't give us access by making your stories plain to the people, but you can go down the dial for people who don't look like you, who may not represent the ideas or the ideologies you're trying to present, it takes away from black media.
So there it is. 3 different outlets to come to before you even get to Nothing But the Facts.
Yes.
That's right. And you come here, you sit down with us. It gets raucous. We ask you the hard questions. I hope you can answer it. Or you're just coming in, if you're not a politician or a public figure, and you're just coming in to chill with us, kick it with us. We're gonna just chew the fat.
Well, I don't want to talk about that. Make it chug.
But you guys want to start on a positive note, though. The last time we were all connected was at the Martin Luther King Vigil. that
Correct.
you set
That's
up,
right.
Franklin.
Outdoor,
That was
right.
an amazing event.
Oh,
And
thank
you were
you.
with the breakdown from 88.1. We were over on MLK and Cary.
Right at the statue for Martin Luther King, commemorating the 50th anniversary, if you will, using that language, of his assassination. And even with that, I don't like the term. They covered it out here a little bit, but they said that his death. No, it was an assassination. It was a plot. Let's be real.
True.
Let's make it factually sound that as we are in 2018, he's assassinated in 1968, and now we know with the complicit help of several governmental agencies and possibly even governmental shooters. So the fact that we have a statue here, one of 26, and I'm glad you said that. Where's that picture? I got a picture of the lady who made the statue. I had pulled it out. I'm gonna get it.
Yes, I think you showed me it last time.
Yeah. It's over there. We'll get it in a second. We'll get it in a second. We won't break the show up. But in any event, I had a chance to talk with her and meet her, and she gave me a picture, old time picture. You know what I mean? You had to get it developed. She sent it to me after I interviewed her, and I recognized the importance and significance. It was done by African American sculptors, and there was a lot of people involved, the commissioners and some folks who are still around. So it's a testament to them that they got it. But I think it's a testament for us here to stand as the community did come out with the compliance of some other folks. I got to give a big shout out to the commissioner here for Mr. Commissioner Lawrence Weekly of that particular district here in Clark County. And also I got to give a shout out to the Parks and Recs for Clark County. Kim hooked it up with the staff. It just was a coming together of a lot of different stuff. Also, we got the help from the NAACP. We got help from Yvette's group, I always mess that up, the Black Caucus of Southern Nevada. People came out for it.
Don't forget Mastering Mindsets.
Mastering Mindsets was part of that
Shout out to
also.
them.
And there's just a lot of people, a lot of different groups came together to make this happen. And a big shout out to LJ and that group. And my man Brian Philpott, an African American artist who appreciates Dr. King. And when I said I was doing this event, and I talked about it from last October, we don't get into that because some people were mad that they didn't get a role in it away. But in October, you could have jumped on it. And if you have a bad organization or if you have a bad or whatever it is, media empire or whatever, why didn't y'all put it together? Why didn't y'all put it together? Now you want to come on board and do in KCP, and I recognize it's a family station and a community station, so we made everybody involved. But as you recognize, all of these organizations that are here, it's about not your words, but your deeds. And I'm glad that the community came out for our live broadcast of the breakdown, which was epic. And you put it all film, man. You put it all
That's right.
film.
April 25th, the finished presentation comes out. We're going to do it documentary style and give you some history on the station as well as the Martin Luther King event. It's perfect.
No, it's perfect. That's what it's about. Like you said, put it on film. So we had a big event commemorating his assassination with a live broadcast. Big shout out to his staff, and that was running around, and you'll see that up in and out.
Yeah, you were, yeah.
And because it's a lot to put these things together, and
True
I had
that.
to compensate and work with the people who were there, who were receptive to that idea. Especially big shout out to all the poets, starting with, of course, Miss Just Flow and Miss Young Taylor. Aisha Taylor came out there, they did their thing, and then AP put it down.
No,
closed it out.
AP. I cut that piece already.
Yo, that's bad.
That's a sneak piece that's up
Right.
on Lordland Films
Right.
and
Love his energy.
filmmaker
Love his
Client A
energy.
page.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful work
Yeah.
on AP's part.
Right,
Yeah.
and then we also had LeBlack opening the services with us. So we got all of that. Just wait to come check it out. Lordland Films, man. Crazy Dee makes it look good. Big shout out to YT Walker. Clay T. White. YT Walker was the chief of staff for Dr. King. Also one of the baddest pastors around at Abyssinian Baptist Church. Canaan Baptist Church, 116th Street in New York City. They own the whole block. It's a church on that block that knows about, especially with YT Walker, who's the chief of staff for Dr. King. Historical moment. That particular church bought up over 75 buildings on that block. Apartment buildings. Each apartment building is, I believe, had at least 50 apartments in it. And that's how they generate the income. They built that block themselves. And strange enough, it's the same block that many of us have seen in the movie New Jack City. The Carter, which was the house, the apartment building that the drug dealers took over, is right down the block. Canaan owns that historical building. And billions of dollars that church makes keeping it black in the world, keeping it in revenue, because now those apartments are $1,500 and $1,700 for the studios. But YT Walker, under his pastor and his leadership, they acquired those buildings when they were all desolate and just terrible repair. And now 116th Street is like a show place. So it's just a nice part of Harlem.
So he had foresight
Correct.
to know what was going to happen in the future.
Part of the gentrification, which is progress, which I guess leads us into where we are, talking about how we just overcame the Dr. King, moments where we all got together. Right before there was a hotly contested election for 11, 12 people for one seat. for 18 months. And that kind of fractured the community and showed some highlights in the community. But back to Y.T. Walker and what they were able to do in Harlem by acquiring those properties and making it so that the church made money. Now they became a social force, and now that Harlem's regentrified, they're making billions. And that he's unfortunately passed away, but the church is still there. Foundation sound with money. So as we talk about Ward 5, there was an election here in Las Vegas for what was once perceived as the predominantly black community, because Africans could not live on the other side of what is now the highway, the 15. You could not live in Las Vegas proper. So the historic West Side was for Africans, black people who came out here and migrated, whether it was to work on Hoover Dam or to come and work in the casino. You lived on the West Side. And until recently, it was pretty nice. They had their own community. A lot of the African-American entertainers who could not stay in those hotels that now we have the parade for, that are in the parade. Black people could stay. MGM out there, they didn't pay any retribution. They didn't pay any.
Let me insert that you can go on to Loreland Films and also filmmaker Clan A page and watch the intro to Bowdoin Little League baseball documentary that I did for Bowdoin Little League, and we tell that history at the beginning about the historical West and about the entertainers coming, so you can get a feel for it and you can find out who Bowdoin is, the namesake of the baseball team. Continue.
It's very important. It was historical. That's where we were. In any event, now that area has become blighted. It's even the main Jackson Street that was once full of thriving African-American businesses. No more. Even the historical Jackson Street Tavern is now called the Tokyo Tavern. Eat on that. In any event, the community is now being, you wouldn't say, would you say, that's English, I should have asked my mother as an English here. Is that regentrification or just gentrification? Because the process hasn't, the gentrification.
They always say regentrification.
Yeah, but why? It had happened
because
once.
it was gentrified once already. It looked nice once.
Yeah, but then there was indigenous people there. That was when black people
It was
there.
gentrified.
Oh, so it's gentrified from white folks?
And it was regentrified.
All right, well, in any event, progress is what it is. Much like Harlem now, or DC, which used to be Chocolate City. Atlanta's the only place we sustain it. Detroit's on the way out, in as much as the black flight from due to loss of businesses in the Midwest. So here we are in Vegas. They had this election for the seat for Ward 5 that unfortunately the council person before got into some trouble, Mr. Ricky Barlow, who was a friend to the station and a friend to me. He was a great guy, and I decided that we should give him some of his flowers, which is what this moment is. So moving on, we have new leadership. So that's the question. The new leadership is decidedly for progress. I'm for progress. I think I even forecast that in the Urban Voice magazine prior to the election, post-dated.
Okay, let me insert here. If Urban Voice keeps on getting free advertisement, they need to come in and pay their $500 a month, and then they can get all the advertisements that they want right here, because this is a pay-to-play situation here. So we wanted to say that. We wanted to say that. You know what I mean? But since we're doing free plugs, listen to the Black Book Monday show.
Oh, yeah. Right.
10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. on KCEP on Monday.
And Facebook Live. He makes it live.
And then, of course, we put the footage up on Loreland Film. Yes, okay. So, as we go on about that, so, speaking of the churches.
The church.
Right? It's a church in New York City.
Yes.
They bought that block.
Canaan.
Right. Can the churches now, or is it too late for the churches in the area in the historic West to buy those burnt out, blighted blocks?
Well, I'm glad that's where we was going with that, because the question is, have they? Do they have the natural assets or even credibility or credit rating? Because all those churches are located in the historic West Side, and as this has been going on, they've not acquired any. I'm not faulting anybody. They're there as worship, but the financial component that will sustain a church is the owning of the property around it. And then there's opening of the property around it, then you don't have to petition to have things done. I don't know about any other churches buying any of the black neighborhoods. I know that it's being invested by outsiders. Plots of vacant land are going for just the land, $500,000. Plots, a house, a singular house from back in the day, $500,000. I think I forgot how many corners there were, but whatever the percentage is, most of these corners that we now see, we could do a drive-by one day. I see it every day. There's nobody there, no property owner, but there's property. Somebody's owning it, but there's no structure on it. They're just waiting it out. That's what they did in lots of parts of Harlem and DC and things of that nature. You just got to wait it out. Even now, if you look at right outside of Howard University, my sister's godfather, Dr. Golden Vincent, bought up like 9 homes. Oh man, he been rich for a long time. He got filthy money now. And even as he bought those Pennsylvania Avenue homes that are further up from the White House, they were all abandoned and blighted, and they closed rehabilitation, of course, and they had to get done properly. But now those are $1 million properties, and it's not black anymore. We can't afford the income. So that's what I'm concerned with. Back to Ward 5.
So is it progress that Cardi B is having a baby during the middle of her career? Is that progress? Women now.
No.
Is that progress for women? Because most times they say that that's the end of a woman's career if she has a baby in the middle of the rise of her career. Is that progress that she says that I'm going to have this baby and had the fortitude to tell the label I'm having this baby and you're still going to put my album out and so forth? Is that progress?
It's progress. She's definitely playing the cards right, because that's a standard now. A celebrity having a baby, everyone wants to see that. Everyone keeps up on Beyonce's pregnancy, Kim Kardashian's pregnancy, but it is slowing her down from working. Watching a couple of her recent interviews, she said she had to cancel shows that she had upcoming because of the pregnancy.
Not the she's keeping
her popularity and everything is going to stay the same.
She does other shows, but she doesn't have to perform radio performances and that whole meow.
So you would say that
kind of stuff. What the hell is that?
So you would say that it was Beyonce really that kicked it off. Really?
Oh yeah, she set the bar.
Nah, before that, Demi Moore with the naked pregnancy, Janet Jackson with the naked pregnancy pictures, working through it. Even as you see these actresses, I forgot her name. They get an Academy Award, drop the baby, and then still do the work. So if you think about it, people like back in the really Demi Moore doing that shot on Rolling Stone, remember she covered, you could see the baby bump, and then if you look at even what's her name just recently did one too, my girl, Chocolate Thunder.
Serena?
No, Serena.
Come on now, y'all slow on it. All right, I'm an old perv.
Because really, I wouldn't put the Kardashians in it because they're not really celebrities.
When they're not really black.
They didn't work it.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't work it out.
Who knows what
they
are
worked
anymore.
it out, but they worked it out in a different way. Which gets to.
The only reason I like to say them is because they're connected to Kanye, man. It's just Kardashian, Kanye, Kardashian.
I ain't even on that boat. Look at that. That boat does sail.
Look at that.
That music. That's the thing.
Kanye's no longer with us. He's in a sunken place, huh?
No, he's been in a sunken place. Come on, listen to him. But the reality is that women now, if that is, she may be reinforcing the old stereotype.
Okay, what's the old stereotype?
She got on board, and then a lot of businesses back, before the women's were, they didn't want to hire women because of the pregnancy factor, because you're going to take time off from work, because you're not going to be as devoted to the corporation. So who knows what will happen with the music subsidies she receives from the organizations that used to support her while she was hot. When she comes back out, they want an album right now. She got whatever deal it was, and I'm sure it was a great deal. She's still going to have to produce and manifest that album at a hit pace because she came out so strong. And
She's got the album out, and it's hit.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. But how many people are one-hit wonders? But they're willing to invest in her. Don't get me wrong. Look, one-hit wonders sometimes make money all the way through. They do. Milli Vanilli would still be singing if the guy didn't kill himself. All you need is one hit.
That's true. Speaking of one-hit wonders.
But back in that, she was going from pole stripper to rapper to a women's leader. Come on.
It's crazy.
A woman's leader?
The young folks.
Can a pole stripper? Can a pole slider? Can a pole stripper?
You got to get stripper because a lot of pole sliders out here, not just men and women. So just go with that. But go ahead.
Okay. Can that person be a leader for women?
Do you want that as a leader for women? No offense. Her concept and the ways things are, that's what they're platforming as a leader. Is that a leader? What about all the women?
Can the slut
she can be an influence.
Can the woman who does the slut walk, can she be a leader for women?
I don't know.
An influence. Amber Rose.
Amber Rose.
Amber Rose, don't mess with that. That's a gift from God. Let me stop. I'm very happy. But at the same time, look at, was she a leader? Her show failed. She talked about the freedom and sexuality of women. Isn't pregnancy anti-freedom of sexuality of women? Because nowadays, with all the protections, you don't have to get pregnant. I'm not saying she doesn't love the man or anything like that, or the relationship's new. I appreciate him. He got the money to make it happen with the mumble rap. But the reality is, wouldn't pregnancy be a freedom, or is that a deterrent? Because that's, like you said, it may hold her back. So, is that the kind of leadership, is that the way of the future for leadership? Jefferson, get down. He wants to be on podcast. Outside, man, go. We're doing work here. Talking to my chihuahua. But Is that what it is? What about all the women going to college who are struggling? What about all the student loans and all this other stuff? And no offense, Washika rap, is it that good?
Is that not throwing a guilt trip on women? I mean, it's that guilt trip. Oh, I'm not at home. I have to go to work. I had the baby. I don't have enough time to spend with you. Isn't that throwing the guilt trip on women? Isn't the guilt trip that women sometimes feel or believe that they have is due to men saying some of the very things that you're saying right
That's
now?
what I said. It's an old stereotype. Exactly my point. But even in that, you can't say, "Oh, didn't what's his name? What's it, the congressional leader? I'm going home to be with my family." He threw it out there. The context was different, right? Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan just said, "I'm going home. I got to be with my mama, my baby mama. I got to do all this."
Because he didn't care about not seeing the kids until he found out that his Ayn Rand philosophy was not working and was taking America in the so-called middle class. It's now $450,000 a year top level, probably $110,000 low level now, which means everyone is the working poor now under his prescription.
He's a jokester.
Now he found out that that's not working. Now he wants to bail out and spend more time with his children.
He wants to run for president. The only way you can really run for president is if you're not affiliated with a government-natured policy implementing person that job responsible has to be. So he'll get out and run for president.
So they said around 2020 something, because it'll give enough time for another generation to come up who doesn't know him for him to be able to run. Each time that the Republicans get in office is because the generation that comes up forgets about what they did before.
Or has benefited from what has happened as they did under Reagan. That's why we got back to Bush. Turn that light back on, man. See that this is live here. That's Malachi. He turned the light on downstairs. We're upstairs, and this ain't the Bat Cave, and it ain't the Black Cave, and it ain't Wakanda. But the bottom line is, as you look at that, politics, even back to here, like we said with Ward 5, that's progress. And hopefully the progress he thinks he made by tax cuts and things will stand out to those who are in favor.
Speaking of progress, President Obama is planning on going to he put in his submission to run for.
Is that factual or that's
No. That's factual.
That's factual?
I saw someone post it.
It wasn't Michelle, was it?
No.
And then that's the only way it's going to be factual. She ain't trying to get no. Hey, it come from Russia, man. It could be an implant.
There was another woman that posted it, but says that he's running for Secretary General of the United Nations. What do you think about that?
Well, let's ask the youth first. What do you think?
What do you think about him running for that?
Because that's the images that
being set in place.
I had to be real with y'all, man. Y'all gotta explain that one to me, man.
He would be the head of the UN. So when something goes wrong, he would be the face on what they're addressing. Like he would say, like right now, the bombing in Syria, he would issue the statement that says these countries condemn what has just happened. But he's not going to be like Andrew Jackson or the lady who's doing it now. He's going to be the head guy. So he would be the guy that would go out and say, this is what we feel, this is what we're implementing, these are the reasons for the sanctions. I'm Obama.
I think that'd be a great thing, just to see his face, get his foot back into the politics. That'd be a great thing. Everybody would love it, Everybody would love just the image of just seeing Barack Obama back here.
Just the symbolicness of it all.
Another symbolic gesture.
Another symbolic because, his stance on reparations when he was in office, and there is that. It is that. I don't know what they call it in the United Nations, but it is that resolution.
Resolutions, right?
Right. That is claiming that America has violated our human rights as black people,
human rights.
That's all. Let's get to it. All right. Should be held up in the court of the war. Right. For
which is the
war crimes against black people,
leading to possible reparations.
Right.
Exactly.
And wait. And if he gets in there, he didn't believe in reparations when he.
So how hard do you think he'll fight for it?
He won't. And so that's why I believe that myself that it's not so good.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's not a good look. But at the moment, since we segue, I got other images that weren't a good look.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap up with this.
All right, we're gonna wrap up because in case you didn't remember our president, our shining president, I got the Obama doll.
Yes.
You know, you got to get these things. You know, the Obama doll. That's when they kind of liked them
That's
in the
the
beginning.
bobblehead, right?
Right. That's when they liked them in the very beginning when they first started.
But it's mint condition.
Somewhere it changed.
It changed.
It changed. What did it change to?
What did it change
It
to?
changed to
a
beating
big jump.
Barack. Can you
Yeah.
see what he's
I'm
beating?
beating Barack.
It
Can
has
you
a little
believe that?
dial on it. And see what his hand is.
Yeah, it's beating a tool.
Oh man,
Yeah,
A certain tool.
beating Obama. And if that wasn't enough, now you know this is Mama Walbay. You know Mama Walbay?
Mm-mm.
Mama Walbay was Thomas Rasulullah. It's William Marshall, who was the great actor who played Blacula.
No,
Wow.
wait a minute.
So we got a Blacula Obama.
Wow.
Now, I should have known Blacula. I just did not know his name, but that was one of my favorite movies. Blacula. I just didn't like.
He went into the disco
Yeah.
scene with a cape on, and the brother said, "Yo, man, where can I get that cake from?"
Baracula.
Baracula. So
You got 'em
I
all
don't know.
wrapped up
Imagine
in
if
the
he
cape.
becomes a secretary general. Then you know the last one they had him. They didn't. They just look at him. They made him look like a white man now.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
They got him looking like a white man. So
Action
color be
figure
gone.
Obama.
They even look how they stood him. They stood him like Arnold. You know, come on.
And does
Not
it say
even the cool Obama.
jailbreaktoys.com?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Hazard. Choking hazard.
In case you put Obama in your mouth. So I don't.
In
I
that
would hate
case, you're
to
gonna
see.
need this one.
I would hate to see what the new you and Obama would look like.
And this one winds up.
Yeah,
to
winds
being
up. And
Barack.
you got,
Oh, look
you
at
didn't see that? You didn't see that? His hand is moving.
Okay.
Beating Obama.
And
as it would.
with that,
Mhm.
wrap it up, Frank.
This is nothing but the facts. We just tried to get you a little bit of something because we have been absent for a minute. We're going to be making it to your house on a regular basis. You can always go to Lordland Films. Check us out on YouTube. Look up Crazy Dee. Look up CeeMo. Look up your man Franklyn G. You can always come check us out. He does so many things within the community. It's all on the videos that he does. If you need something clean, fast, and in a hurry, professionally done, this is the place to get it done.
Yes.
We're looking for folks to support here. We'll be doing a Malcolm X 2018. That's right. We got Baba, Professor Dr. Leonard Jeffries, a whole day plan at the West Las Vegas Arts Center and at the West Las Vegas Library Theater. Just Flow's involved. We're getting the poets. If you see us and you want to get involved, we just need your help. Let's dialogue, folks. Malcolm X, May 19th, 2018. We're going to be doing it big. So it's a whole day plan celebrating Malcolm. We just got finished with Martin. Now we're going to get it with Malcolm. This is Lordland Films, CeeMo, myself, Crazy Dee. This is how we do it. It's nothing but the facts. Come get down with us because we want to get down with you.
This is Like It Is Radio, Black Intelligent Talk Radio.